The 1996 Soul Train Awards, man. Y'all had two run-ins with Tupac and Suge Knight at that award show, right? One outside the award show and one inside the award show. I think the one outside the award show, Tupac and Suge, they pulled up in a red Hummer and Tupac got out and he started yelling at Biggie. And you said somebody named C Gutter pulled out a gun on Tupac. And I think the one inside the award show, you said that y'all seen Tupac and Suge, and when you look to the side of you, Puffy disappeared. And I did an interview with Napoleon, and he told me that Tupac told him that when Puffy seen him, he ran. And I think Napoleon told me that Puffy ran inside a tour bus. That's what Tupac told him. So from your point of view, man, what happened?
Well, you talking about the 96 Soul Train and the 97 Soul Train. The 96 Soul Train Awards, right? One of the officers, and I'm just going to call him Bun, he was at the 96 Soul Train Awards with me, and he was right next to Big. And this is based on his accounts, right? Now, this guy is a decorated, he's a decorated officer, he's been an officer for over 30-some years. And if I'm going to believe somebody, I'm going to believe what he tells me. You understand? And I've been knowing him since 86. So now, he tells me, because we're riding back in the limousine with Puff now, because Big and them left him out there. He told me, as far as Pac came over there talk about now what West Side and all this other shit like that. And a woman walked past Big. And when this woman walked past Big, she said, "Oh, now Tupac is here." He said, "Ma, I ain't scared. I ain't scared of him." You understand? And he said, Pac started saying, "Now what? Now what, you fat motherfucker?" Like. And Big started saying, what, you know what I'm saying? Went back and forth like that. Now, Suge Knight and them, they coming towards. And he said, for no reason, well, you know, you don't know what Suge and them gonna do. You don't know what, but C Gutter pulls out the gun. When C Gutter pulled out the gun, the Nation of Islam got in the middle of it. And they stopped all the bullshit. I don't know if Suge seen the gun or not. I don't know. But even C Gutter, when he got out of jail, he went on another platform and he said, "Yeah, I pulled the gun out on Suge." He said it himself. You understand? There were stories that going around saying Keefy D did it. Keefy D wasn't even with us at the time. So now, me and Puff heard the altercation over the radio. Right? We hear the altercation over the radio. We running towards that direction. When we get close to the corridor, but prior to that, we had an altercation with some guys from the Nation of Islam. And if it wasn't for Mustafa, Farrakhan's son, it would have been an issue. You understand? He got in the brother's face and had to tell him like 2 or 3 times to back up. And then next thing you know, all the Nation of Islam started running over there to where we was at. Because that's Farrakhan's son, and he runs the shit. So now, we leave going down the corridor. And so then Puff, I could see Suge and them, right? So they coming at the top of the stairs, right? They coming to the top of the stairs. So they trying to gather their whole crew up and make sure they good. Puff is on my left side of me. He's on the left side of me. So I said, "Yo, my man, just take care of my family." Just like that. I got these niggas. Just like that. Real talk. And I put both of my hands in my jacket like this. And when we got to the end of the corridor where the embankment goes down, where you see the TV medias and stuff like that, and the trucks with the media and everything like that. And Suge is right there about 15, 20 yards, something like that. You know, if from the end of the steps, they start walking towards this way, and we at the beginning of the corridor where you can see the big entrance. Puff jumps down the embankment right there and started running behind the media. So I just put my back against the wall, and they just walked by. Didn't say nothing like that. Because I wasn't gonna say nothing until they walked past me. So when they walked past me, I was like, "Yo, where you going? Where you going?" And I just seen them running, through the trucks and jumping in between the media vans and stuff like that, and the media trucks. So he seen the limousine. I didn't go that way. I just went straight out. I seen the limousine out there. He ran and he jumped in the limousine. So he started calling. Me and Bun came. We got in the limousine with him, and we went back to the house. You know what I'm saying? And when we went back to the house, that's when he had said that shit about Big, Pac, and all that other shit. He was trying to call Big on the phone, talking about what happened, and Big kept hanging up the phone on him.
So that's what it is then. Do you think that's what Tupac is referring to when he told Napoleon that Puffy ran on the tour bus when he seen him?
They they couldn't have seen it, bro. They couldn't have seen because they was already in. They just going by accounts that somebody told them. You understand what I'm saying? But anybody who was with Pac and Suge them, unless they was left in the car, you know how you leave your driver, people in the car, you wouldn't have known that Puff ran unless you was somebody with the drivers or you with their cars and seen him ran and get in the limousine. All that shit that he ran up under the cars and truck. Now he ran through the corridors and he ran through the cars. He ran through all that shit like that.
Yeah, man. When I did that interview with Napoleon, man, that's what he told me, man. He said that Tupac told him that Puffy ran, and you said that Puffy ran inside a car. So at some point, Tupac had to see Puffy run into a vehicle at some point, right?
Yeah, he ran. You. If you've been to those engagements, you know the news medias have all their vans lined up, the media vans. You understand? So if he had to duck up under something to get there or whatever like that, he did it. He was trying to get, and you know they had their shit closed off. So he probably had to duck up under one of those things to get there because they don't have it where you could just walk through there because if you walk through there, you can get in the place free. So he had to duck up under something to get to the parking lot.
And I heard they wouldn't even let Tupac get his award because Tupac, he won the award for Me Against the World that day, but they wouldn't let him go on stage
That's
and get
not
his
true.
award, right?
Tupac was on stage. In 96, he was on stage to get his thing. Look at it. They didn't show it. They didn't show it. But he was on stage to get that award. He had the army jacket on and all that shit. Pac was on stage, bro. They didn't show it.
And Biggie, he performed at that award show, right?
Big performed. He performed in my shoes. Those shoes he had on, they put that shit in the Notorious movie. That shit never went down like that. I was laughing at them niggas. They was begging me. The dudes from 5001 was begging me. You understand? Because Puff told them they wasn't going to get paid for shit. If Big go, because Big wanted to go out there in his Timbs. He said, I'm going to do this shit Brooklyn style. He wanted to go out there in his Timbs. And Puff said, if he go out there in them Timbs, I ain't paying y'all shit. Them niggas promised me that they was going to give me, make a suit for me. Or, make a suit for me because they had took over from what Miguel was doing. So they had the industry on lock doing clothes and stuff for him. And because I knew my man Guy, and Guy used to be one of the financiers of Same Gang, because whenever, my man D would ask him for something, Guy would piece him off some money. So I let him use them. And when I came back, that's when he had stepped on the back of my shoes and shit like that, and I cussed his ass out. But he performed. He performed out there.
Did you see that TV series Unsolved, man? Because in that series, man, they portrayed it like Keefe D is the one that pulled out the gun on Tupac and Suge outside the Social Wars, not C. Gutter.
They got a lot of shit wrong in that movie. They got a lot of shit wrong in murder rap. Those were people who came along 10 years later listening to crooked cops and people who didn't know what the hell they was talking about. And now you find people coming out and saying, well, that didn't happen. Well, it happened like this. Keefe D said he wasn't even there. C. Gutter come out and say, yo, that was me who did it. a convicted felon. He come out and say, I the one who did that. So they got a lot of shit wrong. Just like they got the wrong that the car pulled up beside Bignan when it was car planted there the whole night.
You and Greg Kading, man, what's the issue between you and Greg Kading? Because I always see y'all both going back and forth, man.
I don't have a beef with him. Greg Kading on my level of beef with him. I was a witness to a crime. He's somebody who came along 10 years later and took things that he found, took official documents. He didn't go through the freedom of information or nothing like that, that's what I know of. Took official documents, wrote a book about a culture he don't respect, that he knows nothing about, and he painted pictures and lied. He painted pictures and lied on people to make $1. Go around the world with this facade that he found Tupac killer and Big's killer, and here it is, no agency will take the people that he said who committed those crimes to jail. Shit, Bill Cosby had more money than Puff. He went to jail. He tried to say, because Puff make too much money, they don't want to take it to court. Get out of here. Your evidence is a theory that you made up on crooked cops. When in fact, an FBI agent pointed this out clearly. Phil Carson. Because see, this is what they try to do. There were two, when they gave me a 6-pack, they said, so do anybody on this picture look like the person that you saw that night? I said, no. They said, well, if you had to pick somebody in this picture, what would be closest, who would look close, who would look something like him? Other than his complexion, this dude right here. And I'm talking about the high cheekbones that he had and the peanut head. You understand? And then next thing you know, the tape they had taping me illegally. They were taping me illegally. It clicks off. Click. When it clicked off, what happens? They looking stupid, both of the officers. Because now they got to tell me that they taping me, and now they want to change the tape. You understand what I'm saying? When they move the cover back, they got pictures all over the bed and the tape recorder. So my lawyer is discussing with them that New York is not a two-party state. You have to inform an individual that they're going to be on tape. She's going through the legal stuff with them. Eloise Nurse. She's going through the legal stuff with them. You understand? And they was trying to explain to her they're not going to remember everything like that. I'm looking at the pictures on the bed, and I see the picture of the blue suit, but it's in black and white. I see the guy with the suit on, white shirt, bow tie, but I see me and Puff in there too. And I remember this guy walking up. That's the guy who walked up on us. And I looked at the picture, so I grabbed that picture in a stack of pictures. And I was like, yo, this is the guy right here that Little C said. Why did they have a guy face mushed out in the picture? Now, this is the key. The FBI agent said he saw it himself. He saw the picture himself. When he went back to get the pictures, because he may have had a subpoena or he may have had authorization to get the pictures, the guy said, we never had no picture like that. May have been Katz or somebody. The Katz is one of the officers. He said, are you sure? He said, yeah, we're sure. We never showed Gene Deal that picture. We never showed Gene Deal a picture like that. He said, are you positive? He said, yeah, we're positive. We never showed Gene Deal that. No picture like that. He said, well, why he put it in his notes? Why did the police officer put it in the notes that he showed Gene Deal said that this individual right there was the same individual he sees was talking about. Why is it in the note? They had no answer for that. But you know what? Everybody's smarter than the FBI.